Gamers, I'm not here to make you scared or sad, but in less than 2 weeks, Mario is dying. That's right, starting March 31st, we're going to lose a bunch of Mario content, including the ability to post new levels online with the original Wii U's Super Mario Maker game. This means that no new levels will ever be created for this game, and that's kinda sad. But thankfully, the game comes out of the box with 68 sample stages that will always be available for us to play. Hopefully. Today, we'll be playing those 68 stages, but with a twist. The rules are simple. We are going to try to beat as many sample stages as we can in Super Mario Maker for Wii U without pressing left on the D-pad or control stick. This means no controlling our momentum during jumps, runs and other actions. And obviously, this means, well, no going left. Are we going to be able to beat a couple levels or not? Let's find out. But just before we do this, look at this graph. Ugh. Only 26% of viewers watching me are actually subscribed to the channel, so please, can you click the sub button real quick? It takes a second for you and helps me a lot. Alright, now that everything is said and done, let's just jump into it. The first level, Ground, is a very easy and standard Mario level where you move to the right while jumping on Goombas, above pits, and where you avoid enemies like these Spinies and this Oh. Well anyways, you get what I mean, it's easy. The second one, Underwater, is up. And well, just as its simple name implies, well, this level takes place underwater and will ask you to swim in between Cheep Cheeps, bloopers and spikes. But you never actually have to move left at all, so it's very easy. Castle, on the other hand, is a little bit more tricky as it's full of dangerous lava, but thankfully it is a level made with the new Super Mario Bros. Game theme. So if you need to stop your momentum, well, you can simply hit the down arrow and do a ground pound, which will actually help out a lot in this quest without pressing left. Airship is up, and this is actually a very easy stage if you make sure to just walk right. Don't jump and wait for the screen's auto-scroller to catch up, and you'll soon reach the end. Ghost House is next, and this level starts off with you having to move over there to then make your way up here, but that requires you to jump left, and there is sadly no wall jumping ability in the Super Mario World game theme, so this level is actually the first one that's not possible. The next level, Sound Effects, does contain a couple of very scary jumps to make, especially without the ability to push left and control your momentum, but it is possible to do it by just being careful, thankfully. Tracks is up, and this stage contains lots of platforms moving on rails, which can actually get you to move left if you just stand on them without moving. But there's no use to that, as the end is actually located on the right side, so just keep dodging the saws on the way and you'll soon make it to the end. Sub Areas is the next level, and you actually have to enter this pipe to begin, but if you run too fast and hit the right wall there, you'll be stuck and won't be able to enter the pipe no matter how hard you push the down arrow. So make sure to stay near the left side of the pipe. Sadly, even if we go down and do the level, we'll be in big trouble near the end of the stage, as we are meant to enter this pipe to finish it. And as you can see, well, the pipe is located on the left side and we cannot move left no matter what we do. So this one is not possible. Pipeline to the other side is the next course we'll attempt, and this level isn't too difficult at first. But there is a part where you need to hit a block using a shell to make a vine appear, and you'll absolutely want to be on the left side of the block, or else you won't be able to climb it, sadly. If you do it correctly though, well, this level is actually quite easy. And speaking of easy stages, Block Town is such a weird one. Basically, there are tons of little houses, and you have to enter the doors to then be able to climb on top of those houses and reach the flagpole. It's a very easy level, but oh so weird. The next stage is a remake of World 1-1 from the original Super Mario Bros. So you bet this one's easy and doesn't require any left presses. Spinning Boo Buddies is a stage featuring a bunch of giant boos moving in circles on those rails, but you can easily squeeze in between them without ever needing to press left. A P-Switch's Journey is a level where this P-Switch will travel a lot, bouncing up, moving down, moving left and right, but as for you, well, you'll just be down there waiting for the switch to reach its destination, so there will be no need to push left. Switch It Up is next, and this course will require a bit of strategy, because you'll have to hit a P-switch to reach the end and enter that pipe. But normally, you'll want to grab a P-switch from this pipe all the way to the right and move left with it. But we cannot do that, obviously. Thankfully, we can just hit this first P-switch and then wait for another one to fall down and bring that one with us, allowing us to press it when needed and then entering that pipe easily. Only to be met with this. What? A room where we need to move left? That's not cool, Nintendo, that's not cool. Yeah, this one's not possible. Next up is 1-1 Remix Raccoon Mario, which is actually a remake of World 1-1 from Super Mario Bros. 3, and you actually don't need to move left, so this one's a total joke. 1-4 Remix Castle is also a remake, but from the first castle level in Super Mario Bros. And this one is also very easy and never requires you to push left. You might need to damage boost through those fire bars, but that's all there is to it. Bloomin' Goombas is a course where piranha plants are stacked on top of Goombas, but you can easily avoid touching them and getting to the end is actually quite easy. Perilous Vine Climb is a little bit more annoying though. In this stage, you are supposed to climb on this vine that moves left and right, and well, just like the vine, you're also meant to move left and right to avoid touching the spikes and dying. But you know, we cannot do that. What I did do though, is I managed to jump and grab the vine from the other side when I needed to swap sides, and well, as you can see, it looks weird, but it works. It's a little bit spooky, but it allows us to beat the stage. Next up, we'll be playing a remake of World 1-2, and this one's a total joke. Big Dry Bones pirate ship is next, and this stage is actually quite tricky, as you are meant to hit that block to climb on the vine, but if you go under the block and hit it, well then the vine appears on top of you and you cannot move left to climb it. What you can do though is to run and jump on top of the block and then reach that platform and then the end of the stage. Who needs a vine when you can jump like Mario? Sunken Mario is an underwater stage and you just have to make your way up and down, avoiding all of those swimming Goombas on the way, and you'll be all good. Nicobbq is the worst level ever created, featuring so many ugly, yucky yellow coins, but thankfully we never actually have to move left, so it is possible to beat it. Next up is a remix of 1-3 from Mario, so it's pretty easy. The Festival of Fire, on the other hand, can be quite tricky with all of these fireballs that are being thrown at you by those Lakidus. Thankfully, if you do short taps on the D-pad, you'll be able to avoid them all without needing to move left, and thus clearing the level. Super Star Dash is a dumb level, as all you need to do is to hold down right and jump above the pits while defeating all of the enemies on the way. Kapow is also very easy, as you just have to move right and avoid touching those enemies on the way. Be Brave and Get Up Close is a level where you need to hit the correct question mark block to obtain a star and defeat those chain chumps to reach the end. Their attack pattern is random, so it will take a couple of tries to finally get the star, and eventually when you get it, well, you'll realize you cannot do anything anymore. Even if all of the chain chumps are actually defeated, you cannot jump above the stumps. That was worthless. My solution was to make a very scary jump above all of the chain chumps instead. Attack Stack wants you to kick some green shells at this stack of giant enemies. I suggest staying on the left side as much as you can up until all of the enemies are gone and you can safely make your way to the flagpole. Shoe Goomba is a remake of a level from Super Mario Bros. 3, and as soon as you leave that pipe, you gotta move left, so obviously this level is not possible. 1-2 Remix Yoshi is a very easy stage and will be done in no time. Zigzag Lava Bubbles is a very scary looking level with all of these lava bubbles bouncing all over the place, but you can dodge them all by staying on the right side of the screen, kind of easy. Go for the 3-up stump is also very easy. Move right and you'll win. Yep, it's that simple. Jump for it does look like a scary level at first, but you can actually just bounce quickly to the flagpole and it will be done in no time. Muncher is such a weird stage, as all you need to do is to hit a P-switch and jump on the right side to reach the flagpole. Is this even supposed to be a stage? Clowning around is up, and you basically just have to hop inside of a flying car and move right while dodging the other cars on the way. Very easy. Creepy crawly Bowser Tower is not that difficult. Just stay on the left side and dodge the fireballs up until the Bowsers fall down and you can reach the end. Or go past it like an idiot. Ugh. 3-1 Remix is an easy level from the original Mario game, so you bet it's possible to beat it without pushing left. 2-3 Remix Pyramids seems to be a problematic level no matter what challenge I play it on. The real problem here is the N, cause you're meant to kick a Koopa shell to then let it break all of the blocks and then you go down inside of the pipe. But it's located on the left side, so that's not possible. What I ended up needing to do is getting a shell over there to get a Tanuki leaf, and then I use another shell to break this row of blocks. I then ran and slid underneath the block and started breaking these blocks to move into the pipe. That was by far the worst level for this quest, not gonna lie. Thankfully, this next one is actually quite easy, as you just need to follow Bow Bow to the end. No need to push left at any point. Easy Does It is actually quite easy if you just barely tap the right arrow to move while avoiding all of the spikes. Music Notes is a confusing level where you need to find a block that contains a vine that allows you to climb up and finish the level. But thankfully, you can always do a wall jump on the right side there and do some short hops to carry your momentum and go back left. So this level is possible and actually pretty easy. Conveyor Belt Sprint is up. And basically, well, sprint on those conveyor belts and avoid the Koopas and you'll be all good. You'll also need to jump above all of the Koopas in Shell Shot, and this level is also pretty easy. In Find the Fire Flower, you are meant to find the correct block that will allow you to get a fire flower. But since the flower will be on your left side, well, this strategy is not actually possible. Thankfully, we can actually just spin jump on the first row of spinies to make our way above the second row, and voila! Shoe Factory is full of shoes. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it. Very easy level. Kinda like Spiny Tower Demolition, yet another level where you need to throw a shell back at a tower of enemies. No need to move left. 7-2 Remix Piranha Plants will want you to make a very precise jump above those pipes to avoid having to move left, but it is possible to do it. 1-Airship Remix is a very slow auto-scroller level with lots of cannons and rocky wrenches to avoid, but if you're being careful, you'll soon reach the boss, which you can skip by jumping above it. Yay! 8-B Remix Airship, on the other hand, is a nightmare, as you'll need to do some very scary jumps, and not pressing left actually makes the jump quite difficult to pull off. And even if you do it all, you'll get to this boss, the Junior Koopa Clown Car. He's really annoying to defeat, and dying means starting over from the beginning. After a million attempts and failures, I did switch to the edit mode to be able to just retry the stage from the boss, and even with that cheating strategy, I had trouble beating it. It took me a very long time, but eventually I made it, so it is possible. Danger Fire Bars looks really scary, but you can thankfully just jump from one platform to the next and you'll reach the end in no time. Blaster Barrage is also quite easy, as you just have to move onto the right side while dodging shells and other hazards. Dry Bones Stampede forces you to bounce on those dry bones, and since they carry over your right momentum, you'll sometimes need to do some ground pound to cancel it. It's super short though, so no worries. Chain Chomp is a level that contains, well, chain chomps. Who would have guessed? Most of them are quite easy to dodge, but this last one is quite the pain. Get the timing right and you'll be done. The Bone Dungeon level is very difficult, as you need to move those skull coasters to allow you to get to the end. My strategy was to run on a row of coaster down there to create a big bridge that you'll then be able to use to get in between those dry bones and reach the end. Underwater automation is an automatic level, so there's no need to do anything. Easy. Up and over forces you to grab some springs and throw them on the right side. As long as you grab them all in the correct order, you'll be able to jump above the wall and beat the level. Even Trampoline's dream of flying will be an easy level if you slowly tap the right D-pad in order to control your momentum. Roller Coaster, on the other hand, is really difficult, as you'll be jumping on a fast-moving skull coaster above saws, and since your momentum carries over, you'll need to land on the coaster using a ground pound, and this is actually easier said than done. It might require a bit of practice though, but eventually the timing will be just right and you'll be all good. 2-5 Remix Chain Chomp is an easy, straightforward level, so there's never a need to push left. Same thing goes for 8-3 Remix Hammer Bros, which is taken straight out of the original Super Mario Bros. Game, so grab your Shelmet and move to the end. 6-3 Remix Ice is very easy if you move slowly, as there are ice blocks everywhere. Just take your time and you'll beat it. Don't delay is actually the complete opposite, as you'll quickly need to move to avoid getting destroyed by the saws chasing you. You'll have some wall jumps to do, but you can always move left without pressing left, so no worries. Race to the Finish is an auto-scrolling level where you need to jump above lava on platforms, and you'll soon reach this part. And as you can see, well, you clearly need to move left if you want to beat the stage, so yeah, this one is not possible. 8-4 Remix is a remake of the final stage in Super Mario Bros, except it contains many secret mushrooms giving you all sorts of funny costumes. It is super easy nonetheless. The final 4 levels are all Nintendo World Championship 2015 levels, so I don't have much hope to clear them, as they can be quite complicated. Surprisingly enough, the first one can actually be defeated, as you need to run on those conveyor belts to reach that pipe. But instead of bouncing above the saws when jumping on the last Koopa, well, just hop on it and fall down and you'll enter the pipe and beat the stage. Wow, I didn't expect that one to be actually possible. The second stage starts off okay, with a couple of scary Koopa Clown Car segments, but sadly, this part wants you to move left. So there's just no use, we cannot clear it. Same thing goes for the third stage, where you are meant to enter door number 3 to reach this part. And well, you clearly have to move left there. Ugh. And now, for the final stage of this quest, well, you'll soon realize that you need to do wall jumps in between those saws, and since we cannot press left, well, we cannot do left wall jumps. So yeah, this one is not possible. So, is it possible to beat Super Mario Maker on the Wii U without pressing left? Well, not really, as some stages absolutely require some left presses, but surprisingly enough, only 8 stages out of all of the 68 couldn't be done. So this means we cleared 60 without pressing left, which is actually really good in my opinion. Hopefully, this video will send off Mario Maker with a bang, and I can tell you that I will never forget this game, even after it's gone. If I say Super Mario Maker, you probably think about the original Wii U version or even the sequel on the Nintendo Switch. If you are actually thinking about the 3DS version of the game, I'm sorry, you're officially a weirdo. Not only is it the worst version of Super Mario Maker you can play today, it doesn't even allow you to share your levels online and play them. What's the point then? Well, it contains 100 original levels created by Nintendo, and those levels are actually pretty fun to play, which is why today we're going to play them, but with a twist. The rules are simple. We are going to be playing all of the 100 levels in Super Mario Maker for Nintendo 3DS without ever pushing left. This means no walking left, but it also means no stopping your momentum. So if you run too fast, there's just no way to slow down. How many levels are we going to be able to beat that way? Well, let's just jump into it. Right after you've hit the subscribe button and that beautiful bell. Okay, let's go. World 1-1 is the classic original 1-1 level from Super Mario Bros. And if you've watched my videos, we've proven that this one is possible without pushing left many times in the past. 1-2 contains some Koopas bouncing toward you, and they can be a bit annoying, but by being careful, everything will be good. Oh, and watch out for this epic troll block, because if you hit it, you'll be stuck without any means of going left. 1-3 is easy, as long as you move slowly, because if you fall down, the Goombas and plants will eat you whole. 1-4 is a very easy castle level, so you won't have any problem whatsoever. World 2-1 is an easy underwater level featuring tons of blocks. Just make sure to avoid getting stuck under one of those and you'll beat this stage in no time. 2-2 is a very problematic level though. This one is a remake of a level in Super Mario Bros. 3. And I remember having issues with this one back then in the Wii U version of Mario Maker. Basically, the problem is that at the end over there, you're meant to hit some Koopas that break open a way for you to enter this pipe, but that would require you to go left. Thankfully, this 3DS remake actually includes big Koopa shells that you can just bring with you using a raccoon tail. By bringing the shell with you, you can smash it into the bricks and open up the way without ever needing to go left. Nice! 2-3 is yet another Super Mario Bros. 1 remake, so it's actually quite easy to beat. 2-4 was okay at first, forcing you to run with a P-switch, but sadly, this next part absolutely forces us to move left, which means it's not possible for this quest. World 3-1 is yet another remade level from Mario. Come on Nintendo, stop being lazy! 3-2 is a weird level featuring buildings, trees, and there's a bunch of arrows pointing at the end. It's definitely a level made by little Timmy that can easily be cleared without pushing left. 3-3 is not very difficult, as long as you release the run button and take your time. 3-4 is an auto-scrolling level full of lava bubbles, so make sure to stay on the left side and everything will be okay. World 4-1 is yet another remake. Bruh, come on Nintendo! 4-2 usually wants you to fly with the feather cape, but that requires pushing left and right, and we cannot push left. So instead we'll have to do a spin jump to clear this first gap, but once that is done, the rest of the level is actually quite easy. 4-3 requires you to move left quite a bit, but since the level is using the new Super Mario Bros. Game theme, then we can do some wall jumps to move left without actually pushing left. By jumping while we have the momentum, we can actually reach all of the keys to open up the doors and beat this stage. Nice! 4-4 forces you to do precise jumps, but if you follow the pesky coins, everything will be good. In World 5-1, make sure to use a Koopa shell to hit the block to create a vine, because if you hit the block from underneath, well, you'll be stuck. 5-2 is an easy level, as long as you bring a spring with you. 5-3 is a level where you need to enter multiple pipes to solve multiple puzzles, but they usually force you to move left, meaning this one is not possible. 5-4 is a slow auto-scroller that was actually not that bad at first, but near the end you'll see this part, which clearly forces us to move left. Cringe. World 6-1 is actually quite easy if you're being careful while jumping above the many obstacles. 6-2 is just plain easy. Avoid the Goombas and you'll reach the end in no time. 6-3 features some very annoying bouncing donuts, and these guys can be quite a pain in the butt to deal with. Thankfully, they also bounce you left, which allows us to move left, which can prove to be helpful at times. 6-4 is some sort of automatic level where all you have to do is to stay crouched and jump when needed. No left press required. World 7-1 isn't too bad, but I'd suggest grabbing a shellmet to break blocks and save you from getting stuck under the bricks. 7-2 forces you to survive against the tower of enemy, but it's not that bad. 7-3 contains so many hammer bros, but as long as you have your trusty shellmet on top of your head, everything will be fine. I wish I could say the shellmet would save you from World 7-4 too, but sadly we are actually forced to move left once we reach this part in the castle, making this stage impossible. World 8-1 is actually quite easy, and when we need to move left, we can just do a wall jump, so no worries. 8-2 never forces us to move left, but make sure to move super slowly, because you need to stand on top of these very tiny parabeetles, and that is easier said than done. 8-3 is a level giving away thousands of yucky gross yellow coins. I don't like it. 8-4 is a remake from Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels. No need to push left here. 8-5 was a very easy level, all the way till the very last part where we are actually forced to move left to grab the flagpole. That sucks. 8-6 contains so many enemies to bounce on, and without the left button, the momentum can be a real problem to deal with, but eventually I made it to the end alive. World 9-1 is an easy level. I do have to say that I was a little bit afraid of the boss fight, but I soon realized we don't actually need to do it. See ya, Junior! 9-2 contains quite a few boos, and not being able to push left means they're following us and we cannot stop them. Whew, scary. 9-3 is a level that forces us to do wall jumps, and without the use of the left button, I was actually forced to do one-sided wall jumps, which are quite tricky to pull off and require way too much skill. While I did manage to do a few, once I reached this part with the fire thingies, I was just out of luck. This level is not possible. 9-4 was very easy, and so was 9-5, as both these levels have nothing that forces us to push left. 9-6 was also not too bad, just keep running on the treadmills and avoid the shells. 9-7 is a remake of a Super Mario Bros. 3 level. Keep running above the pipes and make that epic gamer jump, and then you'll soon reach the end. 9-8 is a scary level taking place on skull coasters. Not being able to control your momentum is quite scary, but the level contains a few checkpoint flags, which were actually very helpful for this quest. World 10-1 is a remake of the Goomba Shoe level from Mario 3, and if you remember correctly, this level forces us to move left all the time, so sadly we cannot beat it. 10-2 also forces us to move left a couple of times, and that's a shame, because for the quest, we can't. The rules were simple, no pushing left. 10-3 is a remake of a very easy Super Mario World level, so no left presses will be required here. 10-4 is a level where you need to move right while dodging Bowser and his fireballs. It's actually kind of easy. World 11-1 will force you to move left quite a lot, but thankfully this level is full of treadmills, so no need to ever press the yucky left button. 11-2 is also quite easy. Just play the level normally and you'll reach the end in no time. 11-3 contains a few enemies to dodge, but they won't force you to push left. 11-4 asks you to choose your difficulty, and since I cannot control my momentum in this quest, well, I went for the easy path, which was, well, easy. Call me a chicken, I don't care, it works, it's possible, and I'm not regretting my choice whatsoever. World 12-1 is easy, as long as you hop into a beautiful flying Koopa clown car and move to the right. And I can say pretty much the same thing about 12-2, except this one will also contains an epic boss fight at the end. Guess what? 12-3 is another Koopa clown car level, and it's easy as long as you know the way to go. 12-4 is yet again a Koopa clown car level. Okay, sure. Keep moving and you'll reach the end in no time. World 13-1 will force us to do a few wall jumps to move left at the beginning of the stage, but we can do that just fine. 13-2 is a dumb level where you just have to stand still and wait for the P-switch to move your way. Boring. 13-3 is quite easy and will never force you to move left, so we're good. 13-4 contains some bouncing plants that we have to avoid, but that's it really. 13-5 contains a few scary jumps, but with the propeller suit, everything will be good. 13-6 is very scary looking, but since we can do wall jumps to move left, it's actually possible to beat it. World 14-1 contains a few big boos to avoid, but it's thankfully not too difficult to do so. 14-2 contains some annoying beetles, but they're not that bad. 14-3 is an easy underwater stage, as long as you avoid those big spiky skewers. For 14-4, well, just be patient, avoid all of the fireballs, grab a few mushrooms along the way, and everything will be good. World 15-1 on the other hand will force us to move left, but it will also force us to use Yoshi to cross those big gaps, and sadly, Yoshi cannot do wall jumps, meaning this level is not possible. 15-2 is a slow auto-scrolling level featuring a couple of annoying enemies, but you'll never have to move left, so it's all good. 15-3 is a very easy level and will be beaten in no time. 15-4 can be a bit annoying, as it takes place on moving snake blocks, but you can typically move left by doing some short hops, so it shouldn't be too difficult to clear this one. World 16-1 contains a bunch of bouncing donuts, and while playing, I made a mistake and was supposed to be stuck over there, but a glitch actually saved me. Nice. 16-2 is about running as fast as you can to get to the end before the superstar power runs out. 16-3 contains a bunch of falling platforms and it's actually quite scary. I died a couple of times, but eventually I made my way to the end. 16-4 will require you to move left quite a lot, but there's always a way to do it with a well-placed wall jump, so no worries. World 17-1 is not too difficult, but make sure to spin jump on the enemies to get to the end. 17-2 on the other hand will force us to move left multiple times, making it impossible for this quest. 17-3 is a level that will force you to grab bombs and use them to move right. And when you need to move left, well, there's always going to be a wall to jump off of. 17-4 is actually quite easy and won't force us to move left. Same thing for 17-5, a very normal level that is full of ice blocks, 17-6, a level full of conveyor belts, and 17-7, a level full of boos. All easy stages. Sadly, 17-8 contains a few parts where we are actually forced to push the left button, making this one impossible. World 18-1 features our friend the Koopa Clown car. Fly to the pipe near the end and you'll be good. 18-2 is also quite easy, featuring a couple enemies but nothing that will ruin your day. 18-3 on the other hand wants us to grab a shoe to then move left over there. This is simply not possible. Same thing with 18-4, a level which drops us down this pipe and wants us to grab the key on the left side of the stage. Just impossible. 18-5 is super easy. Run and fly to the end of the stage. 18-6 is also quite easy, as long as you do ground pounds to stop your momentum on the skull coaster. 18-7 is a very easy underwater stage, and the Shellmet will actually protect you from all of the obstacles falling from above. 18-8 is a big castle with multiple challenges where you need to move left, so this one is impossible. World 19-1 starts off just fine, with a few things to avoid, but eventually you'll reach this part, which clearly wants us to move left, but sadly I didn't manage to skip it. 19-2 is quite annoying, and you'll have to dodge many things, but it's possible to do it. 19-3 is full of fire bars, but they won't be much of a problem in the quest. 19-4 is super easy. simply grab a Goomba shoe and get to the end. 19-5 is very stressful, as you have to run from one P-switch to the next before everything turns back into coins. And since you'll be doing wall jumps, well, this is very stressful. I thought the end was impossible, but a well-timed jump will allow you to clear this gap and get to the flagpole. Nice! 19-6 is easy and will not be a problem at all. 19-7 was actually quite difficult, as controlling your momentum is not easy, but I managed to beat the stage anyways. 19-8 is not too difficult, and wall jumps will help you quite a lot. 19-9 was scary looking, but ended up being very easy, which is actually good. 19-10 is some sort of ghost house puzzle stage and will force us to move left, making it impossible for the quest. 19-11 was a very easy level, and last but not least, 19-12 forced us to do tons of one-sided wall jumps, which actually really hurt my hands quite a lot. But yes, it is possible to do it. So, out of the 100 levels in this game, 16 were actually not possible to do without pushing left. Meaning there's actually 84 that are possible. So, hey, 84, that's a pretty good score, right? That's at least a B, huh? Super Mario Maker for the Wii U is dead, and that's pretty sad. But if you have a Switch, you can play Super Mario Maker 2, which is even bigger and better. Not only does the sequel still allow you to build and upload new levels online, it also features a fantastic story mode where we can play over 90 levels built just for us by Nintendo. And today, well, I'm going to try to beat as many stages as I can without the left D-pad. The rules are simple. We are going to be playing all of the 90 original story mode levels, trying to beat as many without ever pressing the left D-pad or left on the control stick. This means no controlling the momentum during jumps, runs, and other actions. And obviously, this means, well, no going left. We're going to be playing each level individually, as walking around the world map is kind of boring, and this is not what this video is all about. Are we going to be able to beat some of the levels, or is going left mandatory to play this game? Let's find out. Right after you find out about the fact that only 25% of you people watching me are actually subscribed. Come on, that number is way too low, so hit subscribe right now, will ya? Alright, thank you, I appreciate it. Anyways, now let's just jump into it. Job 1 is actually quite easy, as it's your traditional grass-themed Mario level, and if you stumble upon a dead end, well, you can always do a wall jump since this level is based off the new Super Mario Bros. U game theme. Job 2 is full of red and blue on-off switches that you gotta hit to create paths and staircases, and if you mess up, well, you'll be in a bit of trouble. Normally, you're meant to enter this big pipe to solve this puzzle underground and grab a star, but if you move to hit the on-off switch, well, there's no way to go back left once you get the star. But thankfully, we don't have to go down this pipe, as Mario Maker 2 comes with the Luigi Assist mode that allows us to spawn power-ups and blocks, and this will be used quite a lot in this quest. With the help of this green boy, we can beat the stage. Job 3 is a very easy left to right type of level, so you'll beat it in no time. Job 4 takes place on a platform that moves on rails, and if you want to move left, you can do short hops. Dodge the angry sun and other hazards on the way to clear the stage. Job 5 is a maze type of level that takes place in a haunted house, and sadly, we are meant to grab Yoshi from this room to then eat a P-switch and create a block path to enter this door. As you can see, we cannot really bring Yoshi back left without, well, pushing left. I managed to use Luigi to get rid of those coins using a POW block and then create blocks to enter the door, leading me to the second phase of this course. But as you can see, well, this second part is all about moving left and right and exploring this maze type of thing. So sadly, this course is not possible. Not gonna lie, job 6 is kind of difficult, as you need to collect all 30 coins to beat the stage, and to do so, you'll have to do some precise wall jumps to reach the left part of those little areas. Oh, and do not go up there, or else, well, you're in trouble. Job 7 is full of swinging claws, and at first, I thought that swinging without pushing left wouldn't work, But turns out that just running into the clouds and then using the momentum you gained works just fine. This level's actually quite easy. Job 8 is full of Goomba shoes, and with the many enemies on your path, make sure you don't lose that shoe, because there's no going back left to get it once that happens. Job 9 is yet another haunted house level featuring many challenges to beat and pink coins to collect. And sadly, well, going left is mandatory for most challenges here. This one's not possible. Job 10 is thankfully way easier and only wants you to move from left to right, so it's all good. Job 11 is a little bit tricky, because it involves a lot of wall jumps in order to move left and reach the end of the stage. My trick here was to do short hops after doing a wall jump to keep my momentum going, and with that one simple trick, I made it to the end and managed to clear it. Job 12 is one of those annoying stages that flip the screen around and get really confusing. Seriously, I cannot play levels upside down, stop doing that, Mario Maker! But thankfully, it's not very difficult to make your way to the end of it, and no left presses will be required. Job 13 is very easy. Simply grab one of those dry bones shell and ride the lava to the end. Job 14 features a lot of twisters, and these little guys can be quite annoying, especially near this part with the POW block. I ended up having to damage boost my way on those munchers, but it turned out fine anyways. Job 15 is a level where you cannot ever jump and you have to move to reach the end, but sadly, there is a part where you are meant to grab this P-switch and bring it left with you so that this thwomp presses it. I thought this was the end because we cannot move left, but turns out I found a big brain strategy. Use Luigi to get a POW block and get rid of those coins, and once they fall off, well, use Luigi again to place a bridge of blocks, and ta-da! You reach the end pipe. Just use Luigi once again to get a propeller mushroom, and the flagpole will be right there, so we did it. Job 16 is easy, as all you need to do is to hop aboard the Koopa Clown car and fly your way to the end of the stage. Job 17 will not be that difficult, as all you need to do is to be at the right place so that the cloud drops the Goomba on the music note block and gives you the key. And if you mess it up, well, you can simply use Luigi to spawn a POW block to hit it for you. Thanks, Luigi. Job 18 is a very easy level, as you can simply do some wall jumps and cat dives when you need to move left. Job 19 takes place underwater, and while this first part is not very difficult, well, as soon as you reach the green pipe, you'll see this part where you definitely need to move left. And as you can probably guess, well, this one's not gonna happen. Job 20 starts off with us entering this Koopa Clown car, and we are expected to break those blocks on the left side and move there, but this is sadly not possible. I even tried using Luigi to put a mushroom inside of the Koopa Clown car, and while it did make the car face the left side and shoot some fire, well, the fire it was spitting wasn't enough to break the blocks. Dang it! Job 21 takes place on a snake platform, and since we cannot really move left, we have to be very careful not to move to the right too fast. Do a scary jump at the end and you'll be all good. Job 22 is a very easy level. Hop on Yoshi and move to the end. Job 23 is a vertical auto-scroller full of vines and enemies falling from above. Just make sure to stay in the center of the screen for the whole level and you'll reach the top easily. Job 24 is a maze where you need to collect key tokens to reach the end. While I did manage to get 4 tokens with a little bit of strategy, a little bit of wall jumps and whatever, there is sadly no way to get the 5th one, as you are meant to enter this clear pipe that's on the left side of Mario, and thus requires a left press. Dang. Job 25 is yet another haunted house where we need to move left as soon as the level starts. So yeah, this one's not possible. Job 26 is a fun level with low gravity, and not being able to use the left button to control your momentum in the air is quite difficult, but thankfully Luigi is always there to save the day. Job 27 is kind of annoying, as you have to defeat 25 enemies to get to the end. Thankfully, you can hop off Yoshi to move to the left side and use Luigi to place blocks if needed to defeat all of those annoying Cheep Cheeps. Job 28 is a level where you must enter pipes and hit on-off switches and kick shells to get some pink coins. Obviously, as we cannot go left, we cannot beat this stage. Job 29 is not very difficult, and if you don't want to deal with that annoying poison mushroom, you can build some blocks and force it out of your way. Ha! Get owned, noob! Job 30 is easy. Just time your jumps on the beat blocks and you'll beat it. Job 31 features wind that will push you left and right as you make your way down these two lifts. Don't move and let the wind push you and you'll beat it in no time. Job 32 is quite annoying, as you need to explore a castle and it forces you to move left and right, and since we cannot go above it, even with Luigi's help, well, this level is not possible. Job 33 wants you to run super fast, hitting on-off switches, and then you'll reach this part. Dang it, we have to move left again. Job 34 is full of bumpers bouncing you all over the place. It's a fun and easy stage. Job 35 is kind of easy, as you can use some wall jumps when you need to move left, and using this technique, you'll be able to make your way to the top and beat it. Job 36 is yet another level where the gravity is all over the place, but with Luigi's help, you'll be able to reach the end without any left presses. Job 37 will require you to be very careful with all of the lava, spikes and other hazards, but it is possible. Job 38 is also a very easy level, and once more, wall jumps will be your best ally if you need to move left. Job 39 is very easy and will be done in no time. Job 40 does contain a couple of annoying boos, but it's easy to dodge them and beat the stage nonetheless. Job 41 is full of piranha creepers to dodge, and there's this one part where you need to do a very precise wall jump to move left and make your way up there. It took me a while to get it right, but I can assure you it is possible. Job 42 is an underwater stage full of hazards and things out to kill you, but you don't have to move left, so we're all good. Job 43 is a level that takes place in the dark, which can be very annoying, but it is possible to beat it anyways. Job 44 is sadly not possible, because we are meant to collect all of those coins up there, and without the ability to move left or right to pick them up, there is not much we can do. Job 45 is a level where you have to stay on the left side of the screen, and while I did manage to make my way up there using some Luigi blocks, I soon stumbled upon this part, where we absolutely have to move left and there is literally nothing we can do to do that. I even tried sliding on the seesaw, but Mario never did. Job 46 will force you to move very slowly to avoid getting crushed by thwompies, and at one point you'll reach this part and... what? A troll invisible block? Now this is not epic. Use Luigi's blocks to build a bridge instead and you'll be good. Job 47 is a very slow and easy auto-scroller underwater stage. Job 48 is also possible, but you just have to wait for the lava to drop down before you attack the dry bones. Job 49 is full of beat blocks, but thankfully you can use wall jumps to move back left when it's needed. Job 50 is also easy, but it contains a lot of yucky poison mushrooms, so make sure to avoid touching them. Job 51 is very difficult, as you need to collect all 50 coins in a very limited amount of time. To move left and gather them all, you'll need to use the Koopa Clown car and bumpers to push you left, and this is tedious and quite annoying. Thankfully, after a couple of tries, I managed to do it. Job 52 is yet another level taking place in the dark, but at least it never asks you to move left. Job 53 is super difficult, as you need to do some wall jumps but with only one wall if you want to avoid falling in the poison water down below. We'll need a lot of help from our green pal Luigi, but with his blocks and power-ups, it's possible to beat the stage. Job 54 starts off easy, with a traditional left to right stage, but as soon as you go up that pipe, get ready for a vertical auto-scrolling part where staying in the middle or on the left side becomes quite complicated. You'll need Luigi to create blocks, and we'll also need to use those cloud platforms on rails to move back onto the left side, but it is thankfully all possible with planning, patience, and a little bit of luck. I was afraid of Job 55, as you need to hop aboard this car and you often have to move left. But thankfully, those springs always make you look left and then the car moves on its own, so it's actually quite easy to beat. Job 56 wants you to relax on this platform while throwing shells up at coins until you reach the end. It's quite easy. Job 57 is a level where you need to collect all 100 coins, and sadly, no matter what path I ended up taking, there was always a couple of coins that involved me going left to pick them up. My best score without pushing left was 89 coins, which is sadly not enough to beat the stage. Job 58 is full of twisters and will force you to go up in the sky, but sadly, this part wants you to move left, which is not a thing we can do. Dang. Job 59 is a very easy and traditional Mario level. Job 60 is also easy, with the help of our boy Luigi. Job 61 is a level where you need to stand on donut platforms and wait for them to fall down and open up the path for you. I do admit that this part is actually quite annoying, because you need those twisters to push you onto the left side there, which is easier said than done, but with a bit of luck, it's actually possible. Job 62 is an easy level. And so is Job 63. No, seriously, these two levels are a total joke. Job 64, though, is not as easy, but still pretty easy. In other words, you won't have any problems beating it. Job 65 is full of POW blocks, and exploding them is so satisfying. No need to push left here. Job 66 is a short and simple stage. Hop on the beetles and grab the flagpole. Job 67 is easy, and if you need to move left, you can just let the wind push you there. Job 68 forces you to hit on-off switches very quickly, or else those banzai bills destroy you. And sadly, without the ability to move left, there ain't much we can do. Job 69 is possible if you use Luigi's blocks to make your way to the top, as we cannot do wall jumps on left walls without pressing left. Job 70 is very easy. Basically, just run and you'll win. Job 71 is quite easy too, as you just need to hit the on-off switch to guide Mr. Turtle to the note block. The last challenge is a little bit trickier, and it will involve using Luigi to get a mushroom and go up there to kick the final Koopa and break those blocks, but it is possible. Job 72 requires you to get a Goomba shoe in order to walk on the munchers, so you'll need Luigi to get the first boot over there, but after that it's going to be pretty easy. Job 73 is an auto-scroller full of lava bubbles, but if you're being careful, you can reach the end without pushing left. Job 74 is full of bloopers to defeat, but if you stay close to the left wall, you shouldn't have any issues clearing it. Job 75 is also pretty easy, and you just have to make your way to the end peacefully. Job 76 wants you to use some bombs to grab coins, and once you hit the magic number, which is 50, you can simply run to the flagpole. Job 77 wants you to grab this heavy block and do tons of challenges with it, but most of these challenges will force you to move left, so for this quest, it's not possible. Job 78 is easy if you use Luigi to grab a Mega Mushroom to enter this pipe right away. Once you do that, there will be no more troubles on your way. Job 79 is also possible if you use your boy Luigi to get blocks and power-ups that will allow you to move left and defeat enemies. Job 80 is not a problem, as the platforms on rails will always bring you right. Job 81 is actually impossible, because you cannot jump at all, and you are meant to go left when you reach this part. Ugh. Job 82 is thankfully way easier, as these vines will guide you to the end. Job 83 is a very short level where you fly in your Koopa car. Job 84 wants you to collect some pink coins, and to do so, you'll need to go right. So that means you'll be stuck there if you do so, as you cannot push left. So this one is not possible. Job 85 is easy for the first couple parts, but then you'll reach this part where you must use a POW block and move back left in order to reach this door on top, and this is simply not possible for us. Job 86 is a simple and easy stage that will not cause any problems whatsoever. Job 87 is also quite easy. Just make sure to grab a catsuit over there to be able to chill on the left side of this auto-scrolling part, and you'll get to the end in no time. Job 88 is a level where you need to run to the end. Super simple. Job 89 is a fun but difficult level. You'll have lots of areas to explore and lots of wall jumps to do in order to move left, and sadly, once you reach this part with the Koopa Clown car, well, you're meant to break this wall there, so this won't be possible. Job 90 is thankfully one of the easiest one for this quest, as you literally just have to run super fast to the right to beat it. So, how many levels did we manage to beat? Well, out of 90 levels, we had to give up on 19. So that means that we cleared 71 levels, which is actually pretty good. I wasn't expecting such a high number, and I'm actually quite pleased with the results.